Thank you, Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Standard Chartered Bank, it is my great privilege to welcome you to the annual Anchor Shipping Event of Asia, Marine Money, Singapore. At the outset, Andrew thanked me, and I think I should thank Maritime Singapore for standing by us for the last 14 years. Standard Chartered Bank has been a partner sponsor of Marine Money for the last 14 years, and I'm extremely delighted that the global maritime leaders have been coming here, are there today in this room, to help us navigate through these ever-evolving shipping markets that present incredible opportunity, but also pose significant challenges. The shipping industry, often hailed as the lifeblood of global trade, continues to exhibit its enduring resilience, with the sector entering its fifth year of remarkable profitability. Between 2021 and 2025, the ClarkSea Index has averaged $28,000 per day, almost 50% higher than the 20 years historic average. While analysts expected the year to perform slightly weaker than 2024 on back of weaker supply-demand fundamentals, the ship owners have surprised us yet again. As of now, ClarkSea year-to-date earnings have surpassed last year's levels. No doubt there has been help from the VLCC spot market rates of $100,000 per day in the last week or so and front-loading on the container segment. However, beneath this veneer of stability, there is a complex interplay of forces that needs acute attention, which brings me to today's conference agenda, headwinds on all fronts, which I will summarize, as usual, in three key points. The first headwind refers to geopolitical uncertainties, change in dynamics, and shifting global landscape. A rise in protectionism has led to a more complex and fragmented trade environment. Recent disruptions of the key shipping routes have shown the high vulnerability of global supply chains that have really impacted and increased the journey times and costs, both for the industry and for the consumers globally. The second headwind, which is anticipated weakening in the supply-demand balance itself. Shipping demand has been buoyed for the last 2 years from the Red Sea disruption, which has boosted global vessel demand by almost plus 2% on an average. And if I was to zoom in into some sectors, specifically almost 11% for container shipping and a good 7% for car carriers. Now, it is a fair assumption that if the normal traffic resumes across the Suez Canal, very quickly this will unravel the current strength of the markets. Latest estimates of 2026 barely show a positive demand at plus 0.7%, whilst an increase in supply of 3.8%. So in a normal efficient market, we would see some pressure on asset prices and freight rates as per the cyclicality of shipping industry. Finally, the last headwind relates to the constant changes in regulations, both in banking, financial systems, and also in the environmental landscape, and uncertainty around their implementation. While Basel 3.1 or Basel 4 is slated to be in effect from Jan 2027, the decarbonization regulations like CII, EEXI, EU ETS, EU Fuel Maritime are all in effect. From next month onwards, ships calling US ports may need to pay an additional levy, which is under the USTR regulation, but has not been firmed yet, uncertainty. Look further ahead from 2028, ship owners will also need to comply with IMO's two-tier global carbon tax system, which is subject to final adoption next month. Compliance these regulations, even the best of the case, no doubt will require an additional buffer on the balance sheet of ship owners. To summarize, though, on a positive note, we should not be viewing these barriers and these as barriers rather than as opportunities. It forces us to be smarter, adaptive, and innovative. Throughout this conference, we'll explore the headwinds not as threats hence, but as catalysts of change. This is not a time for passive observation, but for active collaborations, and the solutions will come from people, collective wisdom, and shared experience in this room. Let's use the next few days to challenge these assumptions, share insights, and foster partnerships that will carry our industry forward. My name is Abhishek Pandey. I've set up and led this business for the last 18 years for Standard Chartered. And I thank Singapore for giving us the opportunity repeatedly to present ourselves and get the global leaders here to share the sights. I'll be around for the next few days, and I look forward to seeing you. Welcome to Marine Money Singapore.